I spent my entire 20s floating around achieving basically sweet fuck all. I thought I was just lazy, that I had the potential to achieve things, but I just slacked off with games because it's what I truly wanted to do. Was I just coping? Was I scared of failure? Maybe, man, I don't know. But one thing I can tell you for sure is I had no idea how obedient I was. Obedient to the systems crafted to keep me hooked. And it's the main reason I stayed stuck in life for so long, and honestly, even now. Since I was like 2 or 3 years old, I was turning on consoles and playing games. I think it was the N64 back then with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle cartridge. And I'm not gonna lie, bro, that shit went hard as fuck, seriously. But unfortunately, from a very young age, I was already being trained, right? Trained to look at the pretty visuals on the screen, the satisfying noising of the punches, and the boss that they give a lot of HP so that you have a fake satisfaction of actually overcoming something when you win. Basically, it's rewarding, right? It's instant. You complete a challenge, you get a reward. It's a very short feedback loop. So as you can imagine, when I realized in real life I had to work every day for a chance of getting a reward months or even years later, my brain just said, why would I do that when I can just get rewarded right now? And you know what, this mentality actually worked for me for a while. My brain did the heavy lifting at school somehow, but then when I turned like 16 and started doing A-levels and I had something I actually had to study for, well, I didn't. Why would I want to study? I didn't want to go to uni. I didn't even know what I wanted to do with my life. Honestly, all I wanted to do was just play games. I literally couldn't wait to finish school just so I had all the free time in the world to play games. So I flunked my grades, didn't go to uni, and just got some minimum wage job. And then as I started getting older, I kind of realized this lifestyle actually isn't very practical. While I was still lazy and undisciplined, I still had aspirations to be like rich and successful, I didn't know how I was going to do it, but I knew I would somehow. So I'd get these bursts of motivations where I'd get my life together, I'd start developing a high-level skill like video editing, I'd maybe start a YouTube channel and stuff, but guess what? Nothing rewarded me. Skills took too long to develop, YouTube videos don't go viral overnight, I lifted weights for like 2 days and I'm still not jacked. Nothing hits. If I perform these actions in a video game, if I grind it for 2 to 3 days, I'd be a fucking god already, bro. So when motivation died off, which it always will, by the way, I would immediately relapse to my nearest reward like a little dog, bro. Just wagging my tail for him. Back to games, back to scrolling, right back to where I was a few weeks ago, right back where I started. It never lasted long. Now you're probably thinking, fuck me, Jimbo, this is a bit depressing. Like, what's the point of this video, bro? Well, by some stroke of luck, and I'm really not too sure what it was, but as I got older, I just started kind of getting it, Like, I don't know if I was born like this, or if my several years of watching self-improvement content finally counteracted the brainwashing with more brainwashing, fire with fire type shit. I don't actually know what it was, to be honest with you, but I started to find comfort in the boredom of progression. And I started seeing that I've actually always had this opinion. I just couldn't see it before. Even when I was addicted to games growing up, I would always grind way, way harder than my peers. I could do over 1,000 ranked league games in a season. I would grind fucking mob farms, villager farms, and Minecraft. You know that dickhead that has full enchanted diamond armor on the first day? Yeah, that was me, bro. And if I got into an MMO, oh my word, bro, I could unironically sit there for hours and hours, 8 hours plus a day, being satisfied the whole time just grinding out mobs and bosses. I fucking loved that feeling of improvement, bro. Like, I yearned to progress and develop myself to the top. It's always been there in me. Like the or I guess not really resilience, right? But like the vision, the foresight, I guess, to see that even though what I'm doing on the game now isn't the most exciting thing in the world, I would always find satisfaction in it because I knew that it was progressing me towards a goal that kind of unlocks a new phase of the game that most people never actually get to. Not a lot of people actually had that. The issue was I was having that drive hijacked by games and I wasn't even realizing it, to be honest. And look, I'm not saying all these games are malicious and shit. Like, maybe one day when I've got my shit together, I'll go back and grind a game out again. I don't know. The problem is all my drive, all my passion and energy was being poured into games and I wasn't leaving anything in reserve for my actual life. Maybe you're the type of person who can balance their life and do 50-50 life stuff gaming. I'm not. I can't trust myself to pick up a new game because if I get hooked, it's over for me, bro. Like, it really is. Even the shit on the screen that you're seeing right now, I play like once or twice a week, like 1 or 2 hours. It's just the type of person I am, bro. I grind heavy. Once I'm into something, I'm into something. And once I started accepting that, I kind of realized I am the type of guy that can just do boring, tedious, repetitive tasks thousands of times more than the average person. So why don't I start pouring that energy into something that will actually benefit me? Instead of numbing my brain with constant gaming and scrolling, why don't I just go to the gym or practice a language, make daily YouTube videos, meditate and take walks? I've already proven to myself through gaming that I'm much more capable of grinding than like the average person. And I'm not saying this to sound arrogant or anything. I'm saying this because 90% of people this day has fallen victim to the same system. So if I can apply this correctly, there's no reason I can't achieve what I was achieving in games, but in real life. And I am going to. Slowly but surely, I'm going to be rewiring the conditioning set on me by all this technology to flourish my actual life instead of my virtual one. It was really liberating to realize that it wasn't actually my personality that's been hindering me this whole time. It was just my conditioning. And unfortunately, it does take time to reconfigure. And it's boring, bro. It's boring as fuck, I'm not going to lie. I'm 3.5 weeks into this now. And the motivation is dropping. The boredom is increasing. I'm just going to be completely transparent with you. But the only reason I think it's boring is because everything else is just so rewarding. So by default, the things I'm doing aren't boring, but because I've been so spoiled with rewards this whole time, they just seem to be boring. And yeah, I know these habits are rewarding, but only in the long run, you know? Do you know how hard it is to continue lifting with like minimal results, or like walking and meditating daily, even though I still get frustrated at like really small, stupid things? It's tedious as fuck, bro. But I know it's going to be worth it because I told myself it's going to be. So I'm just going to trust myself and just carry on, man. There's a great quote by James Clear in Atomic Habits that every time you do a habit, you are casting a vote to become that person. I've probably said it a few times on this channel, but I'm going to keep repeating it. So this year, I've casted 24 votes for being a gym goer, about 25 for being a content creator, something around there, 20 to 25 for being a book reader, and all I have to do is make these numbers compete with the 5,000 votes that I made for being a degenerate stoner gamer for the last 10 years, bro. It's a long road, but as previously mentioned, I'm going to lock the fuck in because I know that I'm capable enough to see it through. Watch me, brother. Love your journey, man. I hope you pick it up as well. And this has been Big Ol' Jimbo. I will see you in the next. Peace.